A Finnish court has sentenced Simon Ekpa to 6 years for terrorism-related offences, aggravated tax fraud and breaches of the Attorneys Act. The court ruled that between 2021 and 2024, Mr. Ekpa provided armed groups in Nigeria's southeast with weapons, explosives and ammunition through his network in pursuit of Biafra's independence by unlawful means. The prosecutors also presented evidence that Simon Ekpa used social media and online platforms to incite violence in the region, directly linking his campaigns to unrest in the southeast. In addition to the terrorism charges, the court held him liable for serious financial misconduct, including tax fraud, which further undermined his legal standing. And the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, has commended the conviction of Simon Ekpa by a Finnish court. General Musa says sponsors of terrorism will be held accountable regardless of their location. In a statement by the Director of Defense Information, Brigadier General Tukoro Gusso, the CDS mentioned that the judgment affirmed that no individual or group sponsoring terrorism against Nigeria would find a haven. He also expressed firm support for the judgment delivered today. Also, the federal government has commended the conviction of Simon Ekpa by a Finnish court. The government says the ruling vindicates Nigeria's long-standing position that Mr. Ekpa's activities amounted to terrorism. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, described the verdict as a watershed moment that not only acknowledges the pain inflicted on innocent Nigerians, but also strengthens diplomatic ties between Nigeria and Finland. He also reaffirmed government's determination to protect Nigeria's sovereignty, unity and territorial integrity. The government warns those still influenced by Simon Ekpa to lay down their arms and embrace peace. Security expert Dixon Osagie joins me on the news at 10 for more on this development. Mr. Osagie, thank you for joining us on TVC News at 10. What do you make of this latest development, and how do you see it impact directly on the agitation for secession in the southeast?
Thank you very much for having me. I think today marks a very great day in the Nigerian state and letting us understand that justice is the most powerful weapon against terrorism. And this also lets us understand that there is no hiding place any day, anytime, anywhere. That is what it is and what it's supposed to be, because when you engage yourself in an act of terrorism, you must be brought to book. And I appreciate the Finnish government for this speedy trial of Simon Ekpa. Pre-trial started sometime in May, June, July, August, September 1, verdict against Simon Ekpa. And that tells you that our judicial system needs to also learn from this verdict from the Finnish government. 3 months is a good one for them to understand that this guy has offended the Nigerian state. He has, instigated a lot of people to tread on the path of terrorism. A lot of officers and men of the Nigerian government, Nigerian security forces have been killed, and this has led to more agitation in the southeast. And I tell you that this is a good one for the Nigerian state and a good one for this administration. And it's also a signal to anyone in this territorial space that there will be no hiding place for you when you commit terrorism against the Nigerian state. And the Finnish government has set this standard, and this standard must be upheld by any country in the world, that no one should seek a safe haven after committing crime in his or her own country. Well done to the Finnish government, and our government should also, tread on this path of speedy justice. It's a very good one, and I appreciate the Finnish government for what they have done.
Back at
justice.
A similar case back at home is now in its 10th year thereabout. But beyond having him prosecuted and sentenced to prison for 6 years on charges of terrorism, what does his operation say about our preparedness back at home, that someone could be in Finland and sponsoring that level of coordinated operation in southeast Nigeria?
Well, we're in a technological era, and anything can happen anywhere, anytime, any day. And I'm speaking to you right from a location and being broadcasted live. So that tells you that anyone can stay or live in any location and carry out an act of terrorism. Terrorism has no religion, it has no distance, it has no nationality, and it also has no justification. So whoever tread on the side of terrorism is also treading on the path of danger. So for me, I think what we should be looking at now is that we should try to minimize minimize our media space and also ensure that we cut off the oxygen of terrorism. And I'll tell you for free that one of the greatest oxygen for terrorism is publicity. Publicity is the greatest oxygen for these terrorist guys. They want to be heard all over the world. They want to be heard of their evil activities and evil agenda. So if we are able to cut off publicity, cutting off their oxygen, which is publicity, I will tell you that they will not strive in the area of, instigating fighters, getting fighters, and also we should try to look at going into the employment methodology. How did they get their fighters? What are the methodologies? If you check, one of the methodology is that they capitalize on the vulnerable state of some Nigerian people, and do them well, give them a lot of money and bring them to fight. So we should be able to cut off their oxygen and also cut off their fighters. Then also the Nigerian government should, use the National Orientation Agency, NOA, National Orientation Agency, to, sensitize the public that terrorism is not the way to go. It is evil, it's an act of animal behavior, and we must understand that we have a country to build, and that country must stand, which is our great country, Nigeria, for now.
Dixon Osache, a security expert, thank you so much for talking to us on the news tonight.
Thank you for having me, and congratulations to the Nigerian government.